Hi, welcome back to Ask the Oracle channel. My name is Davina. I am your host, an intuitive channel and a guide for those who need some assistance here, especially if you feel like you resonate with a light worker, an emissary of light. Perhaps you felt like you were some sort of warrior. You have some frequencies of a remembrance of being a fighter for a cause. Those of you who are intently interested in creating a new earth, those are my people. So welcome, come on in. Today I wanted to talk about something kind of on the fly. This is going to be really short, but it came to my attention, so I know it's meant to be shared today. Take a deep breath with me, friends. Feel that wonderful flowing energy. Okay, so this is what I was guided to share. When it comes to disconnecting from the matrix, what we must do, all of you must do, is limit your consumption, the consumption of media. Yes, I'm wearing my black and white today because I'm trying to balance my masculine and feminine side. And so black and white, it just, you know, yin and yang, it stands for that. And I also have my little pendant here to remind me. This is a very good motto. It says, do no harm and take no shit. All right, so ideally I wrote down, you want to get to a point where you're only ingesting, consuming less or around 4 to 6 hours of media a week. Now, but when I say media programming, I'm talking about news station media programming, where we go to one source for information. It doesn't have to be even news sources, like one channel, okay? That's what I'm talking about. You need, if you want to know the truth, my friends, you need a broader perspective. You do not get all of your information from one source. How can you verify your source is indeed telling you the truth if you don't know what the other person in question or the person being talked about is actually saying? So one of the things that I learned to do for me to become a neutral person was to let go of biased media. First thing I did, I don't know how many years ago, was to stop watching the Democrat news, and I never watched the Republican news, but then I started wanting to go see what they're saying so I could see the whole picture. And then let me tell you, if you haven't done this already, it's extremely interesting to see who and what they're focusing on and what they want you to focus on. So I'm going to share a channel message, okay guys? Now I'm going to really get to this, okay? Let's do this in simple terms, okay? Now, I said media, but it could be any media. There are cults out there with names that sound cryptic that you don't want to just get your information from them, because you cannot verify for sure if you're being steered or guided when you only got one source. So whoever you are, wherever you get your sensitive news from, you got to go back to the source of who they're talking about and see what they're actually doing. What is on the record, not what they're saying they're gonna do, or this, perhaps it's a cult. Some people don't wanna see it that way, but we're gonna put in the definition of what a cult is, and then we'll determine if that is indeed what we're dealing with. And we want you to be honest when you ask yourself these questions, right? Because I personally was brought up in a cult, a religious cult. I didn't know it. How was I to know? They didn't want me asking questions. You get discommunicated. Disqualified, I was going to say. Is it really disassociated? Yeah, you would get kicked out if you asked questions and went on, didn't do what they want you to do. and they always told you there was the truth. They used that word truth. And Kitty, you're going to be on television or on the computer screen, a phone screen. Oh, this is Neo. He came back from the dead. I can't believe it. He died 7 years ago, and he's a miracle. He's back. Okay, changing the subject. All right, let's get back in. Okay. Oh no, now there's another one. Ow! I have 2 kittens that I love to let in my house because they're cute and fun, but they hurt. He just put his nail in me. Ow! That's Morpheus. He hides. Let's go over what... Okay, that's enough. You get down. You're tearing up my antique chair. I hope you like cats, because if you like cats, we're going to get along. Okay, so think about the chess game, okay, guys? I don't know if you play chess or checkers or Chinese checkers or whatever. That was fun when I was a kid. I just remembered it when I was telling you that. I don't know how to play now, but I remember as a kid playing. It was fun. Okay, so I don't know if you're used to playing board games or video games, or you just love strategy. Some of you may not know you love strategy, but let me tell you, when you get into strategy, man, that's some fun shit. It could be extremely fun, because what you're doing is you're always anticipating the next move. Whoever can see the furthest can win sometimes. Just depends on a lot of things, right? But strategy is extremely important in life. So what I'm going to tell you now is, for those of you who are tired of the political systems lying to you, telling you one thing while they're selling your soul to the devil, for instance, the EPA was going to make it illegal to sue chemical companies. The chemical companies want to be able to spray chemicals everywhere and make you sick, and you can't do anything about it. Now, let me tell you, I signed that petition. And I told the senators of my state that if you do this, this is going to be on your conscience. This is karma. If people's children start dying because the water is polluted, because you sold out to whoever is trying to take over the regulations and keep them from regulating them, that is not the people's will. Like, seriously, we know what's up. We ain't stupid. What do you do to avoid being brainwashed or desensitized? You limit your consumption of the adversary's propaganda and mind programming. And let me tell you, the people who are mind programmed do not know they are mind programmed. So, and it's not our job to tell them. They will not listen. They think they're so smart and so clever, and you're the one that's stupid. I know, because I have some family members that have tested me, and you gotta just ignore them sometimes. I tell them what I think. I'm like, hell no, I don't care who does what. So-and-so's doing it. Okay, good. Don't got time. I don't got time for that shit. The people who are brainwashed will not know they're brainwashed. That's the first thing you need to be aware of. And it might even include us, okay? Because I at one time was right in there. So for me telling you this, I'm coming from experience. I have both sides. I did not know that I was so influenced by the media and the hype and the fear until I almost did something that they wanted me to do. And luckily, I didn't do it, because when I realized the thing they were trying to scare the pants out of me, was a no thing. That thing was like 24-hour bug and you're over it. And then at that time, they took some product off the market. That was before now. You're gonna get poison and toxin in the air, the water, the food, anywhere. These adversaries who can give you that poison, right? So for you to stand in your sovereignty, dear friend, what you're gonna need to do is step away from devices, unplug, however that looks for you, however many hours, and start listening to that inner voice instead of that outward noise. Brainwashing, in simple terms, what is that? Think about it. Let's just break this down to the simplest term, right? What do you do when you wash something? You hold this thing or object under a continual stream, a streaming, streamline, streaming, and wash it. Repetition. Sometimes people will hear something so much they don't even question it. It's just like, oh yeah, that's just the way it is. And they don't realize it because that's a part of the adversary's ploy to get you to do what they want. You don't ask questions. You don't realize that, hey, you need to ask questions on everything, especially if it involves your health and your family's health and your happiness. Ask questions. So you're holding this object or thing. In this instance, it's your brain, it's your mind. They got it going. They got that stream of water. Well, their water is not pure and clean. Their water is full of ideas they want you to act on. Whether it's hyped up fear and it's static, it's noise to keep you from hearing your inner compass and voice. That's all it's doing. Propaganda to make you hate a Democrat. Oh, it's the Democrats, it's their fault. Oh no, it's the Republicans. No, it's them. It's the religious people of the world, the killers, and the group over here from the Middle East, which, by the way, I want to tell you, the Antichrist is rising out of the Middle East. Nostradamus was correct about that. And who the Antichrist has shown themselves to be, it might surprise many of us, but what Antichrist means is anti-human. The anti-human agenda is disguised in so many different disguises, masks, but they all have the same thing in common. Control. I was going to say in control. They all have the same thing. They've been around for a long time, and they think that they can ensnare and trap and slave you, and they think they can get away with whatever they want. There's no karmic justice in the universe because they've been doing it for so long. Oh my gosh. You just wait. The frequencies coming into our planet, they cannot control it. They can't control the divine plan. So you can laugh at them all you want. They're gonna, but they won't like it. They'll laugh at you though. But when you laugh at them, they don't like it. Well, they don't want you to know that you have more power than them anyway, that they have no power. It's just an illusion of power because that's the way they set up the system. So anyway, now they're cracking down, and I think it's hilarious. I see the actors and I'm like, oh my God, you're a bad actor. You're so bad. Oh, didn't you die when you were reincarnated? One time you were Mussolini and you got killed doing some stupid shit, and look at you there, you're trying to do it again. If you saw one of my videos, you'll know who I suspect was Mussolini. Is Mussolini, but in a different body, and he's reincarnated, and he's in the US political arena trying to bring on some fascism again. All right. So what you don't want is a continual stream of other people's ideas. Because if you do that and you never turn the noise off on the tube or wherever, it could be YouTube as well. I'm guilty of watching YouTube occasionally when I get in a funk sometimes. I watch too much and then I start feeling like, ew. So whatever the case is, if we're constantly streaming, and we won't know where the stream ends and where we begin. So basically you just want to check in with yourself, become more neutral. Okay, I don't resonate. I'm not no Democrat, I'm not no Republican. I am an independent thinker. I have my autonomy. I don't need their thoughts, especially if it's not true. I don't need the distractions. I don't need that. I have a mission, I have a purpose, and I'm working on that. I'm very passionate about my purpose and being a beacon of light in a time when the world needs it. And I know that if you made it this far, you're the same. You're a beacon for others in some form or fashion. And so I want to ask you to share your love, and please, please consider going to my website and supporting my work in some way so that I can continue my stream of information that I've been guided to share now in this time of dark and light. When something transmuting it, there's something going on. It's not like it ever was. Let me tell you, we of the Gen X are so lucky because we got to see so much change. Do you remember, if you're my generation, when the fall of the Berlin Wall, do you remember what that sounded like? When the people were relieved, watch a video of the fall of the Berlin Wall. It was just like what liberation feels like, guys. Let's channel that energy of what that felt like, the fall of the Berlin Wall. And listen to me, we've got to get leaders that really care about humanity. I don't care what any organization, group, TV, media, what they're saying. If they are taking funds away from universities, colleges, that's one thing. Then you're going to have a country full of stupid people. And we already got that. We already got the dumbing down of society since 1945 when they started putting fluoride in the water. And then there's all kinds of like stupid TV programs. My God. You know, if people just watch, what is that shows called reality TV, which is, by the way, all not reality. I was actually in a couple shows. I won't tell you which ones. Back when I was in my 20s. Let me tell you, it was so fake. There was no reality in them reality TV shows. They'll tell you, oh, that's, okay, you gotta go make up some stories and get some attention because that's what people like, so come on. So all I'm saying is, if there's a generation that's grown up watching stuff like that, they're not going to be smart if they don't read books. They're going to be pretty dumb. Plus, they don't have the memory or the life experience of what it was like to go through all these generations. And you and I, if you're Gen X, you're awakening right now to your assignment. Now is not the time to become a coward. I don't know if you're familiar with the Shambhala Warrior. It's a book that I just had for years, and finally it was time to read it. So sometimes we'll have books and we can't pick it up because it's not the right time, it doesn't resonate, or sometimes we just need to go back and do a good quick review because we read the information and forgot all about it like 20 years ago. There's one book, I want to say it was James Redfield, I'm not sure the name of that book. Oh my God, it was an adventure. But I read that book years ago and picked it up and read it again, and I was remembering, it was reminding me about sending love to plants and how the plants respond. Sending high vibration frequencies from your heart to the animals, to the environment, and all of a sudden the environment starts having like a better vibe. It's like when you have love in your environment and people lock in, they can feel that. The animals love love. Oh, they respond. I give them Reiki. I take care of my animals. Crystals, flowers, plants, chickens, you name it, frogs. I love them all. And I'm going to give them a little, you know, hey, how's it going, little buddy? I'd be sending them some love. Anyway, so I was reminded of that. So I'm going to remind somebody. There's someone watching this that needs that reminder that you send yourself love too. If you don't got it in your own life, you don't got a mate, you don't got good friends, your friends all leave them behind. Some of them are another lifetime away. They change, you've changed, you grew away from them. Just keep going because you're going to find those who resonate with you soon enough. Just be who you are, do what you're meant to do. And I just saw the video is at 2222, so that's a good sign too. Turn off the noise, and if you don't know if you're brainwashed or, oh, I'm so sorry. If you don't know if you're brainwashed, just ask yourself this one question. Do I get all of my news and information from one source? And then you can be honest, okay? Be honest. Nobody's testing you. You're the one just got to be honest with yourself. So the reason I'm saying that is because I will listen to a lot of high vibrational, some of my teachers went off into this deep end of conspiracy from a letter in the alphabet, and I think they changed their name now. They had to change their name and they're somewhere else. And so some of my best teachers, I have quite a few actually, that I studied under and studied with and did some retreats with even, and they went off that on that wagon, and I didn't. My guides said don't. They said don't go in there, don't do it, and I listened. So I was saved from the propaganda that was mixed with some truths and some lies. Okay, so now when I look at what's going on in America's politics, I see that there's some really weird stuff. I see the Antichrist is busy, owns everyone. There's like dirty money, and the politicians are all in on it. They're a puppet with a puppet master that's killing people, and no one can do anything about it. So let's send some love into wherever we are on the planet at this moment. Take a deep breath, inhale, and expand. And exhale. All right, start feeling your heart, okay? Because the key that you're going to want to do is to connect your head, your heart, and all of your energy centers. Get them flowing again. Get them moving in a healthy manner so that you can process the energies around you and become solid, strong, anchored, and grounded, and peaceful and calm, and bring your gifts to the world around you the way you can do. No one can do it like you, my friend. So you're gonna have to stand strong, and that stand means stop filling your mind with garbage. Anything that separates you from your brothers and sisters and your neighbors, and who knows, people that are in boats and fleeing for their life because there's an antichrist trying to stir up war in their country, and you don't like them because their skin's not the same color as yours or whatever, and you've got trauma from being abused by somebody who looks a certain way. We gotta release that stuff. Not everyone that has a skin color of a different kind of us is one of them. So change your lens, your perception, and just try to see the soul of the individual, the intention, and go from there. But man, like I said, if you're not getting your news from more than one source and seeing what the person being talked about is over here doing and saying, let me tell you, all the funding from the farming programs. What? Are you kidding me? Whose idea was that? They're cutting necessities for the American people so they can pay for a war that nobody wants. All right, guys, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm done. I just wanted to share this message for whoever needs it. Please like, share, subscribe, and until we meet again, have a blessed day.